Use the code BBW2020 for Black Breastfeeding Week. Happy Black Breastfeeding Week, everybody! Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Ebony Fashion, here to share with you guys my breastfeeding journeys and the products that I use to get me out of a chronically low milk supply. Okay, so a couple things that I want to do. I just want to say a couple housekeeping rules or ground rules or whatever. One, I don't care what product you buy, how much money you spend on it, it will not increase your milk supply if you are not doing three things: drinking water, emptying those boobs, and eating your galacticos. Okay, so drinking water, because breast milk is mostly made up of water. You're trying to produce a liquid, so you should probably be hydrated. Okay. Two, empty boobs make more and fattier milk, period. I will put a visual up here to show you. It's a scientific fact. The more you empty your boobs, the more milk comes, and the thicker and creamier and fattier it is. Okay, I used to think that, you know, full boobs were best. Like, I felt so good about myself, like, oh, my boobs are full, I got some milk from Daddy. And instead of like giving it to them after 2 or 3 hours, I would give them a bottle and then wait another 2 hours so I could be full some more. Like, that's not how it works, honey. That's not how it works. So I wish someone would have told me, like, I know you feel good having your boobs full, but give it to him. Like, empty it so you can get some more. But my fill up time was so slow that I never liked to empty my boobs, because I was like, I don't know what's gonna fill up again. Okay, so empty those boobs. Even if you may feel like you don't know what's gonna fill up again, I promise you, put that baby on there and it's gonna come out. Okay, so that's the second thing. Third thing, eat as much galacticos as you can to just add to the full system. Okay, I don't want you just taking pills and you're not, like, you know, having a good healthy diet that will help increase your milk supply. Like, eat your oatmeal, eat your flax, have your flax, have your almonds, have your garlic, have your ginger. Like, have things in your diet that increase your milk supply. Okay, so there's that. And then last but not least of the housekeeping rules, just because something works for me doesn't mean it will work for you. I'm the kind of person that I've watched hundreds of YouTube videos. I've spent hundreds of dollars on products to increase your milk supply, like hundreds, like at least $500. Okay, and I am here to save you money. Okay, so I would say I'm gonna give you, like, you know, I'm gonna recommend the products like 1 out of 10, and I would say try the products that are, you know, 8 or more, 7.5 or more. Like, try them out, trial and error. But my goal here is to keep you from spending all the money that I spent, going through all the hardship that I went through, and watching all the videos that I went through. I want this to be a source for you where you can look back and say, okay, well, I tried the top thing on her list, that didn't work, so let me try the next one. Like, you have somewhere to go. You're not just out there, because the internet is full of products and suggestions and videos and forums and all kinds of things that can tell you that will increase your milk supply, but not all of them will. Okay, so that is my disclaimer. Manny's crying. I'm so sorry. Ryan's trying to help him out. So yeah, let's get into it. So when I first started breastfeeding, I wasn't sure if I would be able to, because I have hormone deficiencies, and, you know, I just wasn't sure if I'd be able to. But my lactation consultant, she said, let's just give it a try. So I pumped day 1, maybe a drop. Day 2, maybe like 5 cc's. Like, day 2, like by the end of the day 2, I had like 10 mLs of milk, so not even a half an ounce. I had 10 mLs of milk by the end of the second day. The morning of the third day, I had an ounce, and I was so excited to have my first ounce, guys. I'm so excited. I'll put a picture right here. I was so excited to have my little ounce. Like, I went from having little tiny tubes that had cc's in it to a bigger tube that had the mLs in it to the little bottles, and I was like, oh, I got some milk in the bottle. I was so excited. Okay, so that's what my story was, my milk coming in and everything like that. So when I had Emmanuel, I had a C-section, and he was in the NICU. So when I was in the hospital, I gave birth Wednesday. I stayed till Sunday. So when I was in the hospital, I was pumping every 2 hours. Boom, boom, boom. And my milk came in, and when it finally came in, I was pumping up to 6, 7 ounces every time. I was pumping a lot. Like, they would have plenty left over in the refrigerator for him. So I was pumping a lot of milk, which is great. But like the Monday, I said he was born Wednesday, Monday was the first time I ever breastfed. So I didn't get a chance to have the moment on the chest. I didn't get it, like, he was in the NICU, like he was in the isoleta. Like, I didn't get a chance to change his diaper until like that Friday. Like, it wasn't your normal experience. Okay, so you know, I tried breastfeeding and it was very difficult. We tried the nipple shield. That was hard because it wouldn't stick, and then you're supposed to wet it, and I was so glad when I got off the nipple shield. I worked so hard to get off the nipple shield. So yeah, that was difficult. And so like, I feel like I did not really fully get the hang of breastfeeding until like 2 weeks after he was home from the NICU. And I feel like that is what dipped my milk supply, because I went from a whole week of just in and out of the hospital, changing his diaper, feeding him, to having him at home. Didn't have a lactation consultant, didn't have, you know, people to come over and show me how to latch. So like, I would be practicing latching, like I would latch 7 times a day, but I didn't have the time to pump. Like they would tell me, like every time I brought him home Wednesday, Friday I went to lactation consultant because my milk had like nosedive in 2 days. It nosedived because I wasn't pumping every 2 hours. I wasn't on a schedule. Like I would just nurse whenever I could and pump whenever I could. Like I maybe pumped twice on Thursday and once on Friday or whatever, but then they were like, okay, pump nurse, pump nurse. So like, I feel like that started to help a little bit, but it was not it. I still would nurse him, but I would have like drops in the pump, like drops in the bottle, like, and it was really difficult. I had a really hard time with my emotions and my self-value and worth, and I would do a whole nother video on that, so I'm not going to get into that too much. But so then the first thing I tried were lactation cookies. My cousin Rotunda, thank you, Ro! My cousin Rotunda, she baked me some lactation cookies, and I feel like that gave me a really good boost. Like it boosted me from pumping drops to about 1.5 ounces of milk. I would pump 1.5 ounces of milk, and like it was really good, but my milk was still kind of thin. Like it wasn't like thick and creamy and rich like I wanted it to be. So then I ordered the Milky Mama emergency brownies. I'll put that right here, and those were pretty good. Like they didn't taste nasty, they were pretty good, and they really thickened up my milk. I started to see like the fat ring at the top, like when I would pour the milk into the bottle out of the little small, like, you know, a little tube into the bottle, it would like be like a thick plop of like thick milk on top. Like, so that really enriched my milk and increased my fat content. So that was really good, but I didn't really increase in volume. I didn't start pumping more. Okay, so tried the lactation cookies, tried the brownies. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try the tea. Try Mother's Milk tea. It did not do anything for me except for making my stomach hurt. Okay, so everybody's like, try Mother's Milk tea, No, Mother's Milk tea didn't work for me. That's why I always say I'm that person that stuff just don't work for me. That work for everybody else, it don't work for me. Okay, so Mother's Milk tea didn't work for me. So then I started looking into herbs, and so, you know, I felt like that was kind of drastic because I was like, so I was still eating oatmeal at this time. I was still drinking, you know, ginger tea, eating garlic, just trying all different kind of recipes, and you know, it just wasn't really working as much. So the first company I went to, mind you, I say first, the first company I went to for lactation support supplements was Euphoric Herbals. Euphoric Herbals. And so I saw them all over Facebook. Like I said, the internet, there's so much out there. I saw them all over Facebook. I saw a milk machine and I gave it a try. So at this point I was super duper nervous, so I was counting gulps. So on the regular nursing feed, he would be like having 40 to 70 gulps. So when I started taking this, the second day I took this, he started having like 100, 120, 200 gulps, like, and I was like, what? And this is on each side, and I'm like, what? Oh my god. So this definitely helped. It increased it, but I felt like he was getting more than the pump was. So like the first few months I was trying with my Spectra. I even bought the LV, which I felt like was just tickling me. Like I felt like the suction was nothing. So like by November I decided to rent the Symphony, and that definitely made a big change. Like renting a hospital grade pump, it made a huge change. So I definitely recommend that if the other pumps you're not responding to, because not everybody's body responds to it. I needed a strong pump. Then after that I got the Baby Buddha, and honey, that's strong, okay? But anyway, that's a whole nother video too about talking about pumps, but whatever. So I still wasn't pumping as much. I felt like he was getting more than the pump was. I still was pumping an ounce and a half on a good day. Okay, so this product I definitely would give a 7. If you guys don't have a chronically low milk supply, but you want to see more milk and you want your baby to have more milk, then I definitely say give it a try. It's definitely worth giving it a try. It's all natural, fenugreek free. So it's worth giving it a try. But I would not say it's like the best thing that ever happened to me. But I did see it increase from 70 gulps on each side to 120 to 200. That's an increase. But for me, I was always looking for a drastic increase. Like I wanted to have 8-ounce bottles full of milk, which I've never had since my milk first came in. I haven't had that since then ever. So I mean, that's kind of unrealistic goals. So that's why I still want to give this a 7. Okay. So I also tried their Dairy Fairy, and that one has fenugreek in it. I tried that later on after I tried fenugreek, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But that one works really well. It increased my milk supply about an ounce. So whatever I was pumping, if I was pumping an ounce, it gave me 2. If I was pumping 2, it gave me 3. So I'll put that right here, is Dairy Fairy, and that one worked really good. I liked it a lot. It had fenugreek in it. It did not bother Manny's stomach. It did not bother my stomach. So I would definitely give that one a 7.5 because I feel like it was more of a drastic improvement than the milk machine. Okay, so that's the first company I went with. So after I went with that company, I started seeing stuff about Legendary Milk, and I found their Instagram, and that like changed the game. They have like pumping, power pump session, like challenges. They have a hand expression challenge, and I did not know about hand expressing. Hand expressing changed the game for me because like whenever I stopped renting the hospital pump, I didn't want to use my spectrum because I knew it wouldn't respond, my body wouldn't respond as much. So I started hand expressing, and I would be getting like ounces and 2 ounces and 3 ounces from hand expressing. And I'm like, how? Like, I didn't know that even after, because what I would do is I would nurse, pump, like when I had the spectra, nurse, pump, hand express, and I would still get like a half an ounce from hand expressing after I already got whatever I got from pumping. Like, mind blown. Like, there's still milk in there? What? Because I felt like a pancake. Like, after I nurse and then pump, I felt like a pancake. So when I squeeze and there's like shooting out milk, like I would be thinking I ain't had no milk, and I like literally was squeezing and it was shoot at Ryan across the room. He would always be like, how you always shooting milk at me? And I'm like, I didn't know there was nothing in there. Like, anyway, I might do a video about like 5 things that changed the game for me, my breastfeeding journey, whatever. But anyway, I found their Instagram. Their Instagram is so helpful. I joined their Legendary Mamas group, and that was so helpful. And so I was like, you know what? They are helping people whether you buy the products or not. They're giving you great advice, great tips. So it must be a great company. So I decided to try Pump Princess. Where's she at? Where's the Pump Princess at? Okay, I decided to try Pump Princess, and Pump Princess was the first thing that I saw that gave me a 2 ounce increase. So I went from pumping 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces on a good day to pumping 3 ounces, and that was the most I had pumped since I left the hospital. So this was huge for me, and I definitely love this product. It has black seed oil. I believe it has fennel in it. It's just a really good product with only like 3 or 4 ingredients in it, which is amazing. But the only thing I didn't like with this was that my milk started to look like light, like thinner. It didn't look fatty, creamy, nothing. It just was like, it looked like coconut water, okay? So, yeah, I like this, but it did not give me that fatty, creamy milk that I wanted. So, I definitely give this an 8. It's really good. A lot of people rave a review about it, so definitely check it out. It will give you at least a 2 ounce increase. So, check this out. This is a really good one. And speaking of coconut water changed the game for me. I noticed that when I went a day or 2 without coconut water, my milk would just like not be flowing as well. My supply wouldn't be as much. Like, coconut water was so good that we would buy like a case a week. Guys, we were buying a case a week of coconut water because it made such a difference in my milk supply. Like, it was ridiculous. And then when Manny turned 6 months, he likes to drink it too, and my milk started to taste a little bit like coconut water. So it was just, coconut water is really good if you want to stay hydrated. So if you don't like water, I would say at least try to drink 32 ounces of water a day, but then throw a 16 ounce of coconut water in there. Throw a 16 ounce of Body Armor. Body Armor worked for me too. When I was in Chicago and I didn't have all of my pills and stuff, I would just buy a Body Armor every now and then, and that worked. Barley tea. There's a lot of drinks out there that work besides the mainstream teas, because the Teamy tea, while I'm here, the Teamy tea didn't really work for me. I saw maybe a half an ounce increase, but it made my stomach hurt. This tea, this Milk Makers, so it is, Munchkin Milk Makers tea, didn't really see a difference with that. This Legendary Milk Tea Ties, I feel like it really increased my letdown. Like, I feel like I had a faster letdown. My milk came out faster and flowed. I had a better letdown reflex, but my supply did not increase. So this does do something, but like, I would give it a 6. It does do something, but it's not doing enough for me to do all that I have to do with this, because this is a straight up herb. You have to put it in the reusable bag and make the tea. It's just too much and not enough, if that makes sense. So yeah, like, so those teas are like the ones that are made on the market, but barley tea, coconut water, and I'm gonna tell you about another one later on that's like really good. But barley tea, coconut water, Body Armor, Gatorade, those are all drinks that can help increase your milk supply because they keep you hydrated. That's the point. You have to stay hydrated. Coconut water actually is a galactical. It does help increase your milk supply, helps with the flow, but the main thing is that it keeps you hydrated. Okay, so there's that. I went a little bunny hole, but it needed to happen. It was gonna happen at some point, so I Glad it happened now. Okay, so now after I tried Pump Princess, I wanted to try more. So I went to, I found out that they had a retailer here in my town. So I went there. I picked up Milkypalooza, but then I switched it out for the liquid gold. Oh, we're talking about liquid gold now. What am I talking about? I switched it out for the liquid gold, and that was game changing. Okay, I'm gonna put it right here. Liquid gold took me from 1.5 ounces to 4 ounces. Guys, I was pumping 4 ounces. Like, that is huge. Nursing, then pumping 4 ounces, that is huge. Like, going from like feeling like I had no supply to having an oversupply where I could actually have freezer bags. Like, I'll put a picture in here. I had my first freezer bag when I was taking my liquid gold. They gave me my first freezer bag. I actually had like 6 or 7 or 8 freezer bags in there. And when I started working, I had more freezer bags because of the liquid gold. Like, I was able to freeze. Like, someone with chronically low milk supply to have like 10 bags of milk in the freezer, 40 ounces of milk. Like, what? That's huge. Okay, so if you don't try anything else, try that first. Try liquid gold. I give it a 10. Okay, my milk was so fat. I'm gonna see if I can put a video in here. Like, I literally was pouring the milk in there. It was like plop. Like, it was so fat and creamy. Like, and when I hand expressed, that milk was so fat. Like, you really got like all of that fat. Like that. I cannot say enough good things about liquid gold. Okay. Creamy milk. Now I have some partners in crime that I like to pair with liquid gold that make it even better. Okay. The first one is the Milkypalooza. When I was using Milkypalooza, now I'm gonna back up a little bit. When I was using some of these other supplements, I would feed Manny and he'll be hungry in an hour and a half. Or he'll be hungry in like 2 hours. And when you breastfeed, it's supposed to be like every 2 to 4 hours. Like, really 3 hours is good. If you know, your baby's good for 3 hours, then that's what they say in the hospital, every 3 hours. So I wasn't there yet. I would have to feed, nurse him, and then in about 2 hours give him a bottle. And then maybe after an hour after that, I nurse him again, like that. So like, I was never able to just like go 3 hours without having to give him a bottle or nursing him again. So when I added this to my liquid gold, I'll put a video here. My son was refusing the bottle. He would refuse the bottle. I would wait like 2.5, 3 hours, and I would try to give him a bottle to feed him, and he would like not want it. Like, he was good, guys. He was good. Like, he was full. Like, he could have went another hour. Like, and then I just nursed him again. And like, so with the help of liquid gold and Milkypalooza, I was able to nurse on demand. So I stopped pumping as much. Like, this is when I did not have my hospital grade pump. I stopped pumping as much. I was still hand express sometimes, but I just really was like feeding on demand like I wanted to. And he went from getting like 4 bottles a day to only like 2. Like, 1 first thing in the morning, 1 at night. Like, and that was huge for me. I don't think you understand. That was huge. Going from 6 bottles to 2, that's huge. Even on liquid gold, he was still on 3 bottles. 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 dinner. But when you pair this with the liquid gold, 2 bottles a day. That was it. Like, guys, that's amazing. Don't take it for granted, okay? Like, I'd be so jealous of these girls to be pumping full bottles of milk, like 8-ounce bottles of milk. And that's great for them, but that's not gonna be possible for someone like me, okay? So I'm celebrating my victories, okay? So Milkypalooza is great. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like, you know, struggle with having a volume, but you want to fill up faster, Kavari and goat's roux, along with the liquid gold. I would use those 3 together. I would take 2 of each of these every 3 hours, and I would just fill up. Like, in an hour, I'll be full again. Like, this really helped me to feed on demand. Like, really, I'll be so full. Like, I would just be full. Like, and I would have to, like, sometimes, because when I was taking this, like, I would have to sometimes skip a feeding and just pump. And then if I skipped the feeding and pumped, I would have like 5 or 6 ounces. Yes. So yeah. This especially the Kavari. The Kavari definitely helped me to feed on demand and have to like pump more because I was full more. So yeah, that definitely helped me to have my freezer stash for work. I used to have like, I was able, when I was sending Manny to my mother-in-law, I was able to only like send 1 carton of formula and have like bags and bags of breast milk, and it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. Okay, so those are liquid gold's partners in crime in my book. Okay, then the seed of Satan came in, and his name is oil of oregano. Guys, I can put a clip right here. I was sobbing. I had a cold, And this is my first time having a cold being breastfeeding. And so one person told me elderberry, which is fine, which is great. And another person told me oil of oregano. So I got both. And I took the oil of oregano like once in the afternoon and once at night before bed. And when I pumped in the morning after nursing, Minnie, like before I could even pump, Minnie was like crying. He was fussing. He was not happy. Like it was just not enough milk. And then when I pumped, it was like 5 mLs on each side. Okay, so that's not even a half an ounce. 5 mLs on each side, so 10 mLs total is all I got. And I was using the hospital grade pump. Okay, at this time, I was using the hospital grade pump and I only got 5 mLs on each side. Guys, as you can see in this clip, I was distraught. Distraught. As you can see, I'm taking 6 pills a day. That's just from one of them. So what's that? 3, 6, 9 pills a day to keep my milk supply good. Drinking coconut water, buying coconut water by the case, drinking body armor, buying body armor by the case, drinking oatmeal like I'm a crazy person. Like I did so much to increase my milk supply. I worked so hard to be able to have stored milk in the freezer, and it broke my heart, guys. It broke my heart. I was so done. Like everybody was like, she lost it. I didn't lose it, but I was on the verge of losing it, y'all. I was really on the verge. So I did not know what to do. I tried to take all my supplements again. It kind of helped me to have something for him, but I did not have anything extra. My 3 ounces, not 3, my 4 ounces after nursing was over. It was over. I don't care. I talked to so many lactation nurses. I ate so many different foods. I pumped after I nursed every single time again, just like I used to. And it just was, I would like it maybe a half an ounce after pumping. I was back down to getting a half an ounce after pumping, guys. It broke my heart. And the one thing that got it back up was beer. I would drink a half a beer at night. I took like a Guinness. Like I would drink a half a Guinness at night and wake up engorged. And that was like music to my ears. I was just like crying. I was so happy that someone had recommended beer to me. So yeah, that was a game changer for me. And so I would drink, like at that point, I would drink like a beer like every 2 to 3 nights just to be pumping enough, just to be pumping at least 1.5 ounces. Like that's how it was. And so then someone had recommended non-alcoholic beer. So then I took the Caliber, I tried the Caliber, and I had only started to need that like once every 5 days. So I was able to do better with that. Then I tried the Cloth Tailor. And then that one, which is my favorite, I will be good for a week. Like I could take a Sunday and not need another one until the next Sunday, and my milk supply will be like decent. Like I'll be pumping like 2.5 ounces and still nursing, and Minnie would still be good. But I still have never gotten back up to my 4 ounces. Never. I've not been able to. Like maybe if I don't nurse and just pump, maybe I can get 4 ounces. But that would be on a good day. Like for real. So yeah, so that was really devastating. But I tried a couple more things after that. I got desperate and I tried fenugreek. Now fenugreek did increase my milk supply by 2 ounces, but it was not worth it because it caused so much pain to Emmanuel. Like he would scream through the night like I had sleepless nights for a week because of this. Then it started messing with my stomach for a week because of this. So for me, I don't care how desperate I get, I'm not going to use this alone. I also tried this, and now in this last season, for the last like 2 months, I haven't been pumping at all. I just like nurse like 4 to 5 times a day. It's kind of where I'm at because Minnie, that bump scared me, but Manny eats like meals now, and he eats baby food and all that stuff, so I feel like I don't nurse as much because he's always eating something else. So I feel like I was, kind of looking for something to help me sustain that, and I feel like this did pretty good. I feel like Manny was fuller longer with this, and this is the Milky Mama Lady Leche. So I like this, but I feel like I would give this like a 7.5 because I feel like it does not do as much as the Liquid Gold, but I feel like, yeah, my wife's just used to Liquid Gold, and I give this a 0. Okay, I give a 0. Okay. Next thing I tried that I absolutely love is the Harper's Apothecary Mama Milk Boost Oil. I've never thought that an oil can help increase my milk supply, but there's only been 4 times in my milk journey, breastfeeding journey, that I've leaked. One is when I was on the Liquid Go. I first started the Liquid Go. I was nursing on this side and leaking on the other side. And that does not usually happen for me on a normal basis, okay? Y'all ladies who that does happen to, God bless you, but not me. It don't happen to me. So when I started taking Liquid Go, I would be nursing and then leaking on the other side, and I would be able to use my haka. Then my friend, hey Yuli, she made me some oatmeal horchata, and your girl was leaking just because. I wasn't even nursing. I was just leaking just because. And then when I first tried the beer, the next morning I took it at night. The next morning I woke up, I was completely engorged and like leaking. And then this time was when I applied this the night before. I got it that night in the mail, and I put it all under my arms, underneath my boobs, on the top. Don't put it on the nipples though. On the top, I put it everywhere, and immediately I felt like the letdown tingle already coming. And when I woke up in the morning, I had a wet shirt from milk. So this is really good. Do not sleep on essential herbs, and essential oils, and do not sleep on Harper's Apothecary. And they have a lot of different baby and mama essential oils. I highly recommend them. So I definitely give this a 10. I definitely saw great results with it. And I'm the kind of person that I like to try different things in the spectrum. Like, I'm not just going to take pills. Like, I'm going to take pills. I'm going to drink tea. I'm going to drink a different drink. I'm going to take an oil. Like, I'm going to take cookies. Like, I'm going to take everything I can throughout my day to keep my milk supply going. I finished Lechita. I felt like it didn't make a huge difference. It just had me kind of really chilled out. Like, kind of was able to relax. And so I feel like my flow was better, but that was about it. So that's everything I tried. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or concerns down below, questions or concerns, leave them down below and I will comment them. And Legendary Milk is having a huge sale right now. Everything is 25% off, and they only do that on Black Friday. Okay, so like, go get you some Legendary Milk stuff. What I say with Legendary Milk is, I would say try Liquid Gold first, then try Pump Princess, then try Milkypalooza. If you still have some Liquid Gold left, mix them together. They always recommend that you only try one of them at a time, because you don't know what is in what when you mix it together, and then it gives you a bad reaction. So yes, go check out Legendary Milk. Use the code BBW2020 for Black Breastfeeding Week. Happy Black Breastfeeding Week, everybody. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.